All right, next up we've got an Amazon one. Probably should just rip the label, but all right, we've got a Samsung 128 gig USB 3.1 thumb drive. I've actually got a use for this that is kind of cool, I'll tell you about. And then in here we've got, what are these? This is, oh, some pliers. Let's check them both out. So the thumb drive, I had a smaller one, probably like a 32 gig or even 16 gig version of one of these that I carried on my keychain the entire time I was in Alaska. And it was great, held up to the abuse I gave it and stuff like that. So the reason why I want this is for a program I actually heard about on Linus Tech Tips. Don't watch a ton of his videos, but saw this thing called Ventoy. And essentially what you can do is you can take all of your ISO images and things like that for operating systems and drop them on one drive. And instead of trying to make a bootable Windows 10, a bootable Windows 11, a bootable Ubuntu 2204, you can just dump all the ISOs on there and you're given a boot menu so that you can just run the ISO from that. So that sounds amazing to me, and I just decided if I was going to do that, I want a unique thumb drive in my office for that very purpose. And so that's what this is going to be for. And next up we have something from Iwiss, and this is the Iwiss what is it, SN28B, and these are different crimpers than the other ones I had. I've got, which is kind of interesting how different the color looks. I guess pretty close. These are the Iwiss 01BM, and so I was originally told to use these for doing little JST connectors and stuff like that, but it turned out that every time I crimped it, they would just break the wires. So I did a little bit more research, and it turns out that these ones are the better ones to use for some of those smaller JST, XH, whatever. So I'm going to try this, and hopefully that looks a little bit like a better shaped crimp for the JST, and I'm hoping to get better results out of it. So I'll mess around with it, and I'll kind of let you know what I come up with. All right, let's see what we got. Looks like they packed it fairly well overall. Holy cow. 1979. Got some tape residue on there. Some little grommets that need to be replaced, but overall this thing doesn't look cracked or anything. Let's look. Definitely been opened. All right, next up I've got one of those things I think is like an AliExpress package full of packages. So I'm going to open that up, try to keep my address hidden, and we'll see what we got. Let's go from smallest to biggest here. First, I guess, you know. So we'll open this up, and we've got, yes, I've been waiting for these. So these are BNC to RCA cables, and sometimes if you buy some of those older CRTs that are made primarily for security cameras, they will only have BNC inputs on them, and I have such a monitor over there, and I needed a way to adapt these to RCA, and I didn't have any. So I was going to order them from Amazon, but it wasn't that crucial that I got them in very quickly, and turns out I got them in about 10 days from AliExpress, and they were way cheaper. So got 5 BNC adapters, which should be a lifetime supply for me. And next up, we'll go with the box. And I think I'm gonna have a bunch of chips in this order. Don't really remember. But we're gonna see here, obviously. That's why we play the game. So let's see. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. This is, wow, that is a lot. Like, it's kind of hard to Yeah, so I find myself using these right angle buttons a lot on projects, and maybe I went a little bit overboard, probably went a little bit overboard. So I've got these longer ones, I think they're like, I don't know, I think they're like 7mm or something, and then a smaller version of them. So sometimes you need it to be able to stick out through a fitting or something in a case, and sometimes you just need to be able to push it. So I kept finding myself buying these things in like quantities of 10, and some of the boards, like the I just made those 1541 emulators that emulate a Commodore drive, and that thing uses 6 of these buttons, and so you know you can go through them pretty quick. You got 10 boards, you got 60 buttons. So I went ahead and bought them in bulk, and this is quite ridiculous, but I shall have a lifetime supply of those as well. And here we go in the yellow one. We've got bags, more bags, more bags, more bags. Ooh, these look cheap. Occasionally I need these, I'm guessing they're all the same, yeah. Occasionally I need these things to take you from a 3.5-inch floppy connector to a standard Molex connector, and these are about as cheap as you can get. I think I paid like 60 cents a piece for them, and I might have overpaid a little bit. But one of the things that I noticed is that when I'm doing either things like those GoTech floppy drives or something like that, a lot of the things that you're connecting power to aren't very strong, and so I've kind of gotten to the point now where I keep one of these on the device itself so that I can plug into the Molex on the other side. And so I had a couple of these, but I was running a little bit low, so I decided to stock up, and again, not totally thrilled with these, but they're going to get the job done. I mean, they're not going to catch fire or anything like that. It's 12 volts to a floppy drive, so I think that will do, and I think I got about 10 of them, so not too bad.